Recently, one of Ukraine's most prominent conductors, Maestro Kirill Karabits, led the Toronto Symphony Orchestra, or TSO, in 2 concerts at Toronto's Roy Thomson Hall. For the first time since Ukraine's independence, a Ukrainian conductor was invited to guest conduct the TSO in its regular concert season. These concerts included a musical selection by brilliant Ukrainian composer Valentyn Sylvestrov and a special guest appearance by violin prodigy Nicola Benedetti. Karabits was born and educated in Kyiv, and he consolidated his remarkable music career in Western Europe. Since 2008, he has been the principal conductor of the Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra in the United Kingdom. In this capacity, he has been named Conductor of the Year in the UK, and under him, the orchestra has received wide acclaim. Since 2016, Karabits has also been the general music director and principal conductor of the German National Theatre and Orchestra in Weimar, Germany. Apart from that, Karabits is the artistic director of the unique iCulture Youth Orchestra, which includes young musicians from several Eastern European countries. The orchestra plays in Europe and often performs in Ukraine. The iCulture concert at Maidan Nezalezhnosti, or Independence Square in Kyiv, and the concert of the all-Ukrainian youth orchestra called Born Free, both led by Karabits, were attended by tens of thousands of music lovers. I had the privilege of conversing with Maestro Karabits before his first concert in Toronto in September. Kirill, today on Facebook, Tania Stech from the Ukrainian consulate in Gdansk, Poland, said about you, and I'm translating. Kirill Karabits is the pride of Ukraine. Not only talented, but charming and active, діяльний. We are so excited that you are here in Toronto. Your professional accomplishments, your exquisite musical pedigree. How did it happen that you ended up here guest conducting for Toronto Symphony?
I've been in this business now for almost 20 years. I started when I was 19. I did my first public performance at 19. It was in Kyiv. And then it slowly started, and then now I live in hotel rooms, in airplanes, like most conductors. I mean, we have been talking with Toronto Symphony for several years now about possibility of coming, and it's sometimes it's just a question of dates, availability, and so they've just came up with a period and said, would you like to come? Of course I said yes.
And did you choose to bring Sylvestrov?
Yes. I know that there are so many Ukrainians living in Canada, so it was my personal present to all Ukrainians of Canada.
And how did you choose the piece that you brought? Is it?
Well, I wanted to have something which is something gentle. I didn't want to impose anything because, Ukrainian music, I think we have to be careful how we sort of promote it, and I didn't want to make the main reason of coming here to bring Ukrainian music. It doesn't really work that way. It would work for me, of course, but for the orchestra, it's the first time. They don't know me, so I thought it's probably better to take something short.
And had they heard of Sylvestrov?
They have done. It was my great surprise. They have done his Symphony No. 5 with Yukapetka Saraste here 20 years ago, and he was chief conductor.
I was wondering if this symphony could be brought here because it's so somehow universal.
Yes, but they musicians came to me and said, "Oh, we know Sylvestrov." I said, "Really? That's great." But it's I think they enjoy it, and it's also it gives to the program special flavor and special identity.
I don't know if you know, a year ago in Ottawa, the Ottawa Symphony brought Sylvestrov's The Messenger. and it was played together with Mozart's Requiem. And very sort of a prominent opera star, opera soprano here, Karina Gauvin. She was singing, and the conductor was John Storsgaard. I don't know if you know him.
Yes, I know.
So it's unbelievable to me at that time when I heard that Sylvestrov is coming to Canada. I was like, what is this? What's happening? And I'm wondering whether this is part of that or just an independent...
No, it's just independent. I mean, I know Sylvestrov personally really well, so I mean, for me, conducting his music is, I mean, I do that all the time. But what I would like to, of course, is to do some other Ukrainian composers, because there are so many great. But with Sylvestrov, it's easier in a way because his name is better known abroad. So as a first gesture, I thought, let's start with Sylvestrov, and then if there will be another invitation sometime later, then we'll do something maybe bigger, maybe Liatoshynsky or something like that.
Which Liatoshynsky? My favorite is number 3, Symphony number 3.
Yes, I mean, I'm starting now kind of little campaign for that Symphony number 3. We have recorded it now in Bournemouth in England just a couple of months ago. For a good label, so the recording is coming out shortly, and I hope this will help me to be able to perform it more with symphony orchestras all over the world.
And what about Berezovsky? Because you say you have recorded his symphony.
Well, with Berezovsky it's Baroque music, so I think it needs to be an orchestra who is familiar with that sort of Baroque playing. But it's there. I mean, I've done the first performance of it in the Ukraine, so it's in my diary.
Now, you performed in Ukraine the huge concert, Beethoven Symphony number 9, with all stars, all choirs. Explain how that felt.
Oh, that was great. I mean, it was one of the most memorable performances of my life, I think.
How many musicians all told were performing?
Well, we had the symphony orchestra of maybe 100 people, but the audience, that was, I think, nearly 100,000 people in the Ukraine. I was really proud that people are actually enjoying classical music, and since then they have each time on the Independence Day they want to have an orchestra now.
Well, we are very thrilled to have you here, and especially for the fact that it integrates Ukrainian music with more mainstream music connected with Ukraine, Prokofiev, Rachmaninoff, but also the virtuoso violinist Nicola Benedetti. That's a major coup to have that kind of a concert, that caliber. I congratulate you. I can't wait to see your concert.
Thank you.
And hope to see you again here many more times.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.